So somebody wrote me in my Instagram DM and she said, I've watched a few of your videos and I just still have a few questions. I'm 18. I want to go active duty, but it's honestly the physical part. Do you think I should go ahead and go knowing I'm not physically fit? Will they get me to where I need to be? This is a very good question. Hey everybody, it's Armyprinncess here and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are watching me for the very first time, I'm Armyprinncess, a U.S. Army soldier. I've been in the military for over 10 years now and I love to share my experiences with you all to help you all become the best soldier you can be. A few weeks ago, I asked you all to give me your questions because I was planning on doing a Q&A. Lo and behold, coronavirus hit. We in the coronavirus quarantine. So I have time to answer those Q&A questions. So that is what we're going to do in this video today. If you want to see the questions, if you want to get to know me more, then keep on watching.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work.
Alright y'all, so today I am going to answer questions that you all had asked me. I asked you all on Instagram and I asked you all on YouTube to leave me your questions. And I got more questions than I expected. And I've been planning on doing a Q&A for a long time and I just never got around to it. And now that I'm at home more, now that the quarantine has hit, I was like, let me go ahead and answer these questions for y'all. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who is rocking with me, all of my new subscribers. I'm just so appreciative of everybody that has joined the platoon. Make sure y'all fall in and leave me that heart emoji down in the comment section. It just lets me know you rocking with me and shows our love for the military and appreciation. First off, before I even get into these questions, I just want to say that I hope everybody's doing well. I know right now it is trying times with the whole coronavirus situation going on. And for those of you all who may not know, I am a soldier that works in the healthcare profession. So I am a pharmacy technician. I see sick patients every single day. Like, that is my job, to hand out medicine to the people that are sick, the people that are not well. And so we are taking precautions at the hospital that I work at, to use safety, to be safe, to be a little more safe. We are wearing a face mask. We do come in contact with sick patients and sick people every single day, but luckily for me, my facility has set up a great COVID clinic. So people that may be symptomatic with COVID symptoms, we don't directly see them and we don't have to deal with them with direct patient care. So I am thankful for that. So I know a few people have kind of checked on me and asked me how I'm doing in that perspective. So I just want to say thank you. Yeah, it's crazy and it got real. But let's get into the Q&A. So somebody asked me, what is a Great MOS and is basic training difficult? For me, y'all know we just came out of this basic training series. So I'm gonna hit y'all with all the basic training videos I did this series. So basic training is not hard, y'all. It's really not. It's a mind game. I say that all the time. I'm not even going to go into it in this video, but you can do it. It's not hard. It's a mind game. A great MOS that I always tell people is, number one, the medical profession. Like I just said, I'm in the medical profession. I'm still working. There are people that are laid off and people who are not working because their job is not mission essential. My job is mission essential, so I'm working. There's always going to be sick people. Yes, you take that risk that you may be working in critical areas like patient care and actually dealing with patients on the front line. And yes, you could possibly deploy, like those Navy ships that deploy to California and deploy to New York right now. Like, there's pros and cons with everything. You either working and you may be doing things you don't want to do, or you're not working and you're not getting money. But one way I always look at it, to have a definite, steady employment, is medical. And then the other thing that I would say is like computers and IT. Usually those type of things, they're going to always need those people. There's some jobs that I would say are maybe a little obsolete. Some jobs that I definitely know I would not want to do in the military or outside of the military. You just have to use it as a stepping stool and gauge what you want to do long term and kind of build a basis of a good job for you off of what you want to do long term. Do you plan on being a drill sergeant or a recruiter, and what's next for you as far as career goes? This right here is a very good question. So for you all that do not know, I am interested in becoming an instructor, and I think I talked about this in my 2020 goals. So I would love to be a recruiter. I feel like I do recruiting every day on my channel. I think that it would be very fulfilling to see a person and take them off of the street and put them in the military and set them up with the tools that they need to be successful and be the best soldier they can be. But unfortunately for me, some of the stipulations that come with being a recruiter and being dual military aren't what's in the cards for me. So recruiter is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of paperwork. It's not an easy job taking people off the streets and kind of trying to put them in the mindset of military. Definitely if they don't want to do it. So you have to be a recruiter, you have to be strong. To be a drill sergeant is like even more fulfilling because you actually get to see the transformation of the person come from the streets and graduate basic training. But the hours of a drill sergeant are not good hours at all. It's basically a 24-hour job, and with me having 2 small kids, it's just not something that I am going to volunteer myself to do. Now I could be put on orders and be voluntold to be a drill sergeant. I would love to be a drill sergeant. I think it's very fulfilling once again, but the hours are just not conducive with family life, and I don't know how people do it because it's a 24-hour job. Now I want to be an instructor, and that is what I'm trying to push towards as my next career goal. Once you graduate basic training, you go to what's called AIT, and that's when you actually learn your job. So if you were coming in as a pharmacy technician, then you would go to San Antonio and you would go to school to become a pharmacy technician, and I want to be the person that teaches you your pharmacy job. So it is a big career goal, a big career step, and that is what I'm trying to do next when I leave here in Virginia. I would also like to know any tips for myself as a mom and wife, and as in joining and how to prepare for basic training at AI. So she has 3 MOSs in mind. I talked about being a wife and leaving your kids for basic training. If you haven't already, go back and check out my advice from real soldiers, because my own soldier, she was a single mom when she left and she went to basic training. I think I also talked about it in my military 10 for 10 series, so I'm going to put that below. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. But it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's just something that you have to sit down and say, do the pros outweigh the cons? Is this something that I want to do, something that I can do? Am I going to be motivated enough to see it through? And if that's the case, if your pros outweigh your cons, I definitely say go for it. It's not going to be easy, but it's only 10 weeks and it goes by so fast. So that would be my advice. 3 MOSs is good. I always tell people to have an A and a B MOS, because a lot of times when you get to MEPS, you may not be able to pick the MOS that you want to pick. But if you have a backup, then you won't walk away disappointed, or you won't walk away feeling like you have to pick something that you really don't want to do, or you had no clue that that was an option for you when you walked in. So definitely it's good to have an A, a B, and a plan C. Is it possible to be vegan or vegetarian in basic training? And that is a big fat yes. It is possible to be vegan. I don't know about vegan. I'm not going to say vegan, but I know for sure without a doubt you can be vegetarian in basic training. How do I know this? Because I had a friend that was vegetarian, and they have vegetarian MRE. And an MRE is kind of like like a Lunchable. I'm not even going to equate it to a Lunchable. It's not as good as a Lunchable. But it's basically a meal that you can eat, like when you're in war, when you're out in the field, when you don't have access to food. They are staple products that you can eat, kind of like a canned good type meal that you can eat, and it lasts for years and years and years. So you can just have it and you can eat it, and you don't have to worry about keeping it cold or refrigerated. But they do have vegetarian meals, and when you go to the DFAC, they have different options for you to pick. If you don't want to pick the meat, you don't have to pick the meat. Vegan, I'm not really sure, because I don't know a lot about veganism, but I think that's like no dairy and nothing that comes from the animal. So I do know you can be vegetarian. What type of exercises can help me prepare for basic training? Where do you want to get stationed at next? What is your favorite duty station? This was a loaded question from Alexis Betis. I think I said it right. So what type of exercises can help prepare? I talked about this in a past video. Leg tuck, pull up, running. You basically, now with this new ACFT, you have to get into the gym and start lifting weights, so that's going to help you prepare. Where do you want to get stationed at next? I would love to get stationed in San Antonio. Like I said before, I want to be an instructor, and the place that I would be instructed is in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. If you like San Antonio, if you've ever been to San Antonio, let me know right now in the comment section. I love the Riverwalk. I love the margaritas. I love tacos. I love the weather. I just love San Antonio. So that's where I want to go to next. And what is your favorite duty station? So my favorite duty station yet was my very first duty station, and that would be Camp Zama, Japan. How long after recruit is how long after recruit is at basic should I receive mail from them? Whew. That's exactly what it looks like. But I think what they're trying to say is, how long after you get to basic training would you receive mail, or would you be able to send out mail? And you will receive mail very fast. So once you get to basic training, they're going to give you an address. Once you send that mail out with that address, it just takes however long it takes for the mail to come back to you. So if you send it out on a Monday, you should be able to get mail back by at least that next Monday, depending on how long your person sends the mail back to you. But it's just like regular snail mail. You send it out, it comes back through the carrier. Any tips on MOSs with the least work hours per week per day so you have time to make multiple streams of income? This is from aspiring influencer. So that is a good question, and with that I would say there's no specific MOS with the least amount of hours per week per day. I can't think of any. Every MOS has its pros and cons, yes, but I would say there's no specific job that just is like short hours. Of course, it depends on your unit, it depends on where you station at, it depends on the people that you work with, your leadership. You could have a job in the hospital and only work a few hours, or you can have a job in the field that works a few hours. It just depends. But just if you going in with that mindset, you got the wrong mindset. That should not be the mindset, because in the military, just be prepared to work long hours. Somebody on my Instagram said, "Hi Army and Princess, do you like fitness?" And yes, I love fitness. I love to run. For those of you all who don't really know, yes, I love to run. I did a half marathon, and I just recently did the Army 10-miler back in October. So that's my thing, is running. So somebody wrote me in my Instagram DM, and she said, "I've watched a few of your videos and I just still have a few questions. I'm 18. I want to go active duty, but it's honestly the physical part. Do you think I should go ahead and go knowing I'm not physically fit? Will they get me to where I need to be?" This is a very good question. So you should be working with your recruiter before you go. You can ask your recruiter to work out with you. I would definitely say, please work out with me, give me a practice PT test before I go. You can kind of get a gauge and a basis to see where you are. If you know you're not physically fit, I would definitely say get in the gym before you go to basic training. Do not wait till you get to basic training to start getting fit, and that's how you get hurt, because your body is putting shot and it doesn't know what's going on, and you push yourself too hard and you hurt your body. So definitely start working out before. Usually basic training will help push you through if you already have some basis, if you have started. If not, like I said, you can definitely get hurt. But if you meet the height and weight requirements and your recruiter says you can go, I wouldn't hold off on going. I would at least try to see if you can push yourself harder in basic training, but I wouldn't wait till basic training to start doing that, if that makes any sense. But yes, I wouldn't hold off. If your recruiter says you could go, I would go, but I wouldn't wait to start when I get to basic training, if that makes any sense. In your experience, do you see many Army women who have Army boyfriends or husbands that aren't in the Army? If so, do you see many successful, lasting relationships? I really don't see much info on this. So, the thing about the military is it will grow you up really, really fast. So oftentimes I see people come in and they jump into relationships, and a lot of people get married. You have to get married in order to get stationed with the person. You have to get married in order to move out of the barracks and live in housing. So people do it for those reasons, which aren't necessarily the right reasons, but you see a lot of people come into the military and get married. This is a good and bad thing because people may or may not be ready for marriage, but like I said, it kind of grows you up really, really fast. So you can use it, you can take advantage of it, you can grow up and be the best person you can be. But there is a high divorce rate, I would say, in the military, mostly because people are super busy. There are a lot of deployments, there's not a lot of communications, the same things that you normally have in a regular civilian relationship, but I just feel like it's magnified times 10 in a military relationship. So you just have to work harder. I do see a lot of people with boyfriends and girlfriends, and it can work, it does work. Like I always give my story. Me and my husband met at my very first duty station in Japan. We've been together 13 years later. I have seen it. It can work. You just have to choose the right person, number one. You have to communicate, number two, and you have to grow with that person. So yes, I do see a lot of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationships in the military. Yes, I see a lot fail, but yes, I see a lot prosper as well. Okay guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I thank you all for giving me your questions. I know I haven't done really a get to know me in a long time. I am thinking about redoing my military tag video. I did it about 2 years ago. A lot in my life has changed in 2 years, so I'm curious myself to see what my new reactions would be to the military tag. But let me know if you like this. If you have any more questions for me, definitely leave them in the comment section below. Drop that green heart emoji, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Hey, if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, what are you waiting on? Go now.